Here's a question that we've come up against recently. What's the difference between a dado, a groove, and a rabbet? So let me show you real quick. This is going to be our board. And this is the face of the board, and the grain's kind of running this way, the grain's running this way. If I want to run a dado across there, and a dado is, we call the surface of our board, like this. If I'm going to cut a dado in there, I'm taking that out, right? If I'm cutting a rabbet in the end of my board, I've got it here, I'm taking that piece out. There's the side profile of our board. If we're looking at the end of the board, like we've got right here, if that's the end of our board, and I'm cutting a groove in it, a groove typically goes with the grain, like this. So if this is my grain pattern, my groove's going to be here. So my groove is going to run with the grain. My dado is going to run across the grain, like that. And a rabbet's going to run across the very end of the board there. So we've got a rabbet, we've got a dado, and we've got a groove. Groove's with the grain, dado's across the grain, rabbet is across the plane. And sometimes you'll run into people that'll call a rabbet a Filister. A rabbet on the end of a board, two-sided, going across the end of the grain. Some people will call it a Filister, but I call it a rabbet. Call it what you like. The dado is what we've just working on doing, and we're going to make that as the slot for our top and bottom to go into cabinets. If I'm cutting a groove in there, it's because I'm going to put a back on a cabinet or a bookcase, and I want that back to sit down in that groove. If I'm going to run a rabbet on there, it's because maybe I'm also putting a back on, but I don't want it to go in the groove. I want it to sit on the back of the board. It would fill this space in like that and be our back. But yeah, grooves, rabbets, dados, all fancy ways to put a slot in a board to hold another board. Works out pretty good. Hope that answers your questions. If there's something I missed or something you'd like to know more about, just leave a comment for us down below and we'll address that for you.